Okay, here we go. All right, Judge.
The investigator. Are you our savior as well? Is paradise worth saving?
Are you ready to start the trial that would determine the fate of the Syndicate? Have you found facts and crafted a truth? I'm ready to work through this with you, Lady Loved Eyes. We shall examine your case files and cast light upon the shadowy recesses where truth lies.
The door to truth will open.
So, here's part of my expectation, is that one of the big choices that this game is going to offer me, that I think will result in multiple endings, right, is do I want to accuse Witness and the Daybreaks of committing this crime and present all of the evidence craft that narrative, right? Craft the narrative of what they did. Or do I want to accuse Carmelina and who is she working with? Akiko and Yuri of doing it? Or do I want to present both cases and accuse everybody? And I think that I will have an option basically to say, this evidence doesn't really matter. Witness and Lydia and Sam, whatever. But Carmelina and Akiko and Yuri, they were behind this. And I don't know what I want to do. What I really want is to say, okay, I solved it. Here's what's going on. There's two competing conspiracies. But Lydia and Sam bear less guilt, and weren't, didn't, I don't know, somehow get them out of it. I don't know that the game is going to offer me that choice. I also, maybe we'll find out that they were really very involved, actually. But I think I'm going to go forward with my theory about both of the conspiracies and see if I can lean on the scales in favor of Lydia and Sam. But I don't know if I will be able to, and I don't know if I will regret not protecting them. We'll see. This is the point of no return. Ensure you are happy with your evidence and reasoning. There's no going back. The only thing... Well, no, that's not the only thing. There's actually several things that I don't know. But I feel pretty confident with what we've done. Start the trials. Let's expose the truths.
Lady Loved Eyes.
This is the point of no return, where we descend into the madness of crime. The penalty for anyone you convict of any crime will be death, as dictated by syndicate law. Please be sure. I mean, it wants to be very clear that I am not going back out into the island.
Time to breathe life back into paradise.
It is time to breathe life back into paradise. Okay, so... anyone I accuse of any crime, huh? Is having sex with citizens a crime? Is Doomjazz guilty of a crime unrelated to the murder? Is Crimson Acid guilty of crimes unrelated to the murder? Let me explain how we shall uncover truths and lies. We will hold a trial for each case file logged in Starlight. You will choose which suspect you wish to accuse and present your argument against them. Oh, interesting. I am an impartial tool of justice. I shall analyze your evidence and determine if you have proven your case. Can you break alibis? Can you put the suspect at the scene? How strong is your case? All that matters. is that justice is carried out. I am not interested in speculation and weak prosecutions. I need the truth. We will find the suspect responsible for each crime.
The will open.
You said it. Anyone found guilty will be executed. This is the crime to end all crimes. Anyone involved cannot be allowed to infect Perfect 25 with their criminality. You will do the execution. The investigation freak will execute justice. Be confident about who you accuse. Are you clear on how the trials will work? Do you need me to repeat this? Let's do it. Let's go. I'm gonna see...
That's weird.
The island is ending. Our home shatters before
Do
us.
your job.
This farce has gone on for long enough. It is time to move to the new island, Judge. I am the acting leader. I initiated the shutdown. Damn, she's not wearing a wedding ring, but she was 10 years ago, probably. The prime suspect has been sitting behind bars while the freak runs around the island chasing down false leads. You have until the end of the island to do your trial. The truth may not be as simple as you believe, Architect. I'm doing this for the good of the Syndicate. Perfect 25 is waiting.
I don't like this.
The clock is ticking. What does this mean for the trials? We don't have much time, Loved Eyes. The white smoke of oblivion threatens to consume the truth. You will have one desperate chance to find the truth for each case file. Make it count. Oh, interesting.
How dare you?
The rest of the Syndicate are in agreement. It is time to move on and execute Henry. Fuck you. You're overstepping your authority, Architect.
Is this a fact?
Judge,
Or a truth?
let's breathe life back into paradise. You are authorized to once again wield your service weapon. Take hold of a chamber full of justice. Use it at the end of the trials to execute the guilty. Any involvement with this heinous crime carries a sentence of death. Judge, this is severe. This is the crime to end all crimes. Any amount of involvement is a heresy against the gods and an atrocity against the Syndicate. Or do you disagree? Of course not. Be strong in your accusations, investigator. The penalty for any of these crimes is death. I mean, I think what's happening here is that a lot of people at this point in the game are just clicking through dialogue. And so they're trying to make it very clear so there is no confusion and nobody misses
The journey into
the
truth
terms
and
of
justice
this
begins.
this part of the game. Okay, I'm gonna talk to the judge. Speak to the suspects. Oh, we're not. Okay, I thought we were under some time pressure. You have retrieved your gun. I hope you appreciate how serious your accusations will be. Return to the stand when you're ready to talk. But I'm supposed to talk to everybody first? I mean, hope you know what you're doing. You better have the evidence you need for whatever you're planning. God, I hope so. I mean, I probably don't. It's possible that we run through this and things go horribly wrong and we try it again. We'll see. This is a formality, right? I'm lined up to get my head blown off. That's what we're here to find out. I mean, he is possessed by a demon. So, I don't know where that leaves us. If you prosecute me, will I get conjugal visits? Sorry, Doc. The punishment for this crime is going to make that difficult. Yeah. Lydia, Sam. We're cool, right? We're in the clear, aren't we? We'll find out at trial, guys. I don't know about that. Okay. Nobody's saying anything interesting. Do I care what anybody says? I guess Yuri. Oh, God.
Lady Loved Eyes.
We begin the trials. Okay, Henry's escape. Henry allegedly escaped during his execution, broke through the prison bars, and headed to the council building, murdering the martial guards, traversing the Holy Seals, and killing the council before being apprehended at the scene. Truth or fact? How did Henry escape? How did the accused killer break out of incarceration? Is it as the report states, or did something else happen? Henry Division is alleged to have escaped the Desolation Cell and murdered the council. Investigator peel back the shroud of inscrutability and bring forward the sweet smile of truth. There's a lot of metaphor. Okay, so I can accuse a person. Consider the facts and find your truth. Who will you accuse of the crime? Henry allegedly escaped during his execution, broke the prison bars, and headed for the council building, murdering the martial guards, traversing the holy seals, and killing the council before being apprehended at the scene. I mean, he didn't do a lot of that. Breaking through the prison bars was Sam, but all of the rest of this, council building, murdering the martial guards, that was Akiko. Killing the council was Witness and Carmelina. So I'm going to say Akiko, Henry's escape. What is this interface? This is my main... Oh, this is a lot of good evidence, actually. Henry doesn't appear in the Syndicate HQ. Akiko broke procedure. New night, all of that stuff. If I do this, then like this is the evidence that supports the accusation of this person. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that. Witness suffers from death scream trauma, but denies using them to agitate Henry. He claimed to have no knowledge of the oral attack device that records and plays death screams. Yeah, none of that. No evidence, no evidence, no evidence. No evidence for Lydia. No evidence for Sam, huh? What is this picture? Holy shit. Dead killer demon. I can accuse one last kiss. Okay. Yes. Grand Marshal Akiko. Accuse. Henry's escape. Accuse Grand Marshal Akiko 14. Previous convictions none. Are you sure you want to continue with this accusation? Present your evidence to the judge. Once you confirm, you will not be able to reverse the court proceedings. Confirm.
Crime is repulsive.
I believe this was part of a plan by Akiko.
Nenorochito, you're out of your mind, Nenorochito.
The freak is lying. Grand Marshal broke the primary suspect out of the prison she put him in.
Show me your truth.
Present your evidence. Construct a truth. I mean... I do kind of wish that, like, it reminded me what these are. Because I know with the broken bars, broken procedure, which does implicate her, but it's not that strong. Time frame, I think, is super strong. Inhibitors, I don't think is her. Akiko's alibi breaker seems like it would be strong, but I don't remember what it is specifically. I'm going to go with time frame. Time frame in Akiko's report doesn't match up. There's no way Henry could have got off the Desolation Cell, made it to the council building, traversed the Holy Seals, and murdered the council, be found at 3 minutes past midnight. Impossible time frame. Akiko lied.
Put your head on a spike.
Grand Marshal, respect the civility of the courthouse. Do you have a proper response? She's making that up. She's making me out to be a liar. She's cooked up a little story to frame me. How did Henry cross the island, get through all the seals, murder the council, and exit the building by 3 minutes past midnight? He's got a demon in him. The demon gave him speed and strength. There's no evidence to suggest that. That's correct, Grand Marshal. Your word isn't good enough. You are speculating without any evidence to back it up. Present your evidence. Construct a truth. Okay, I'm going to go with Akiko's alibi breaker. I don't remember what it is, but I can break Akiko's alibi. This truth requires us to examine Akiko's alibi. Okay. Akiko went to execute Henry, but alleges that Henry escaped at 23:52. Right? We're going to enter her report into evidence. She claims she found him outside the council building at 3 minutes past midnight. I called witness as I left the desolation cell to go to the barracks to organize the search for Henry. Can anyone confirm that the Grand Marshal returned to the barracks? The marshals confirm she went back to the barracks.
Got
Okay.
it.
However, it is hard to take their word, as they are fiercely loyal to you and refuse to give me any physical evidence. Did you confirm the phone call? Akiko's phone records are apparently classified and the investigator isn't allowed to access them. Witness confirmed he got a call from Akiko.
Crime cannot hide.
I took Witness's phone and analyzed the records at the comms tower. Starlight did some backtracing on the calls, and it appears Akiko lied. The call she made to Witness wasn't from the desolation cell. The comms tower puts her location at the Syndicate headquarters, which throws her timeline of events into question and puts her near the scene of the crime. Watch your language in the House of Justice. She's lying. Her little pocket calculator is wrong. She hasn't checked my phone. The data is incorrect.
When love dies, all that remains are the facts.
Witness testified on the call from Akiko she couldn't hear the desolation cell's distinctive dreadful atmosphere or the ocean.
I have a bad feeling about this.
That isn't conclusive proof, but it still suggests she wasn't where she claims. The rock of secrecy has been lifted and the truth exposed. Grand Marshal's alibi has been broken. So this is a structure that the game has been using all along in how it constructs its dialogue scenes. That I've noticed before, and we've talked about before, where there's a lot that it is silently tracking, right? Or not necessarily silently, but is tracking in, notes and evidence and blah, blah, blah. But in conversation, it's doing a lot of checks of, have you found this thing? Do you know this information? And if so, we're just going to insert dialogue that is relevant based on, what you have discovered. This is that exact system, right? Like, there's maybe more stuff that I could have found that would also implicate Akiko in the way that I'm accusing her. It's simply skipped over, right? It's just showing us all of the dialogue relevant to the discoveries that we've made, the things that we found. And it's very satisfying in this moment, at this culmination, to see it play out like that. Boom, 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 boom. Here's what I found. Here's what I found. Here's what I found. Tying it all together. And it's not entirely on me as a player to do that. I'm responsible for gathering all of that information, and then Lady Love Dies is gonna string it together into a narrative, into an accusation.
Show me your truth.
Present your evidence, construct a truth. Okay, so am I actually, is it all of these? Am I going to select all of these things? Even though, broken bars, I don't think that has anything to do with Akiko. So I'm going to do the Henry alibi breaker. I can break Henry's alibi. Henry stands accused by everyone except you. Do the facts lie? Do you believe in the official version of events? No, the truth is distorted.
Crime is repulsive.
The facts are wrong. Henry didn't go to the council building by himself. Fuck yeah. This is getting
I
interesting.
have a bad feeling about this.
Henry remembers almost nothing about last night except seeing New Night. He specifically remembers seeing the goddess. She didn't speak to him. He saw the goddess. The only statue of New Night is in the barracks, and a normal citizen can't know that because the barracks are classified. Henry has been in the barracks, though. That's where the detainees are processed when they're arrested. Oh, I didn't know that. The statue is in the main barracks grounds. Prisoners don't go through there. Correct, Akiko? When I was arrested on Island 13, oh hell yeah, bring this into it. I only ever saw the entrance to the barracks, which connects directly to the underground holding cells. I'm not answering that, it's classified. Grand Marshal, you will be found in contempt if you refuse to answer. Fine. Arrested individuals are taken through the main gate and directly down into the holding cells. Henry could only have seen New Night if he went through the tunnel that connects the Desolation cells to the barracks. When he was arrested and taken to the Desolation cell, he'd have to go through the main barracks grounds, though.
Don't test me.
That was 10 years ago. He has lost all of his memories from that incident. The only thing that he remembers is New Night last night. Thank you, Lady Love Dies. I definitely would have struggled to, piece that together as a cogent argument, even though I did know all of those facts. So I like how this is handled here. This sounds like a stretch, investigator.
Like this.
The only way to get to the council building from the Desolation cell in the window of time stated is via the front gate of the headquarters. The Nightmare computer logs on the HQ entrance have no record of Henry going through them. I don't believe he went through them. If he didn't go through the entrance, this whole case is thrown into disarray. The demonic sigils that cover Henry's body were found daubed in blood at the scene of the first Seal Marshals. What of them? Henry doesn't draw those symbols. There are no records of this occurring, and it is not in line with how the demon inside him behaves. The sigils formed on his skin through the projection of demonic language from the demon inside him. The demon scorched him with its own anger. Did the demon make him draw them? No, the demon doesn't micromanage Henry's actions. It just sets him on a path. I know so much about demons now. I'm so glad that I talked to One Last Kiss. Henry doesn't speak the demon's language either. I find it unlikely that Henry would perfectly recreate sigils from a language he doesn't speak. Then how did they get there? Most likely drawn by whoever was trying to frame Henry. Couldn't he have copied them from his own body? Only if he had a mirror and the time to do it. Very well. Excellent work. You have taken the lid off the box containing the truth. Henry's alibi is broken.
Show me your truth.
Present your evidence. Construct a truth. Is that breaking Henry's alibi, though? That's breaking the narrative that Henry is guilty, which is the opposite of an alibi, right? What does pressing E do? I think pressing E selects whatever is highlighted. So if I was playing this with a controller, then I would be using up and or even I can use arrows to select things and then press E, or to highlight things and then press E to select them. But I'll try it in just a second. I wanted to respond to actually, there's a lot of great chat. I'm still not sure I get this truth-fact dichotomy. Perhaps that will become clear. I don't think that it will. I think that it's a catchy sort of a thing, but I don't think it has a strong underlying meaning. Toby says, my kingdom to know if we can choose more than one. This has been a recurring issue for me, and I completely agree. And now it's clear that we can choose more than one, but there have been multiple times in this game where that is not clear. And I wish there was a different interface or some kind of an interface marking that indicated you know, this is not a binary choice. This is a list of things, a list of topics. My question now is, do we need to go through that whole list? Or should I not? Should I avoid some of those topics and just try to construct the best case that I can? Okay, which I'm gonna do broken procedure. I'm gonna press E. Yeah, that's a select. Akiko broke procedure when she went to execute Henry. She shouldn't have gone by herself. She was either doing something illicit or giving him an opportunity.
Check.
Is that the best you've got? No, I've already presented a bunch better stuff. I thought you were supposed to be the investigation freak. Speculating with nothing to back it up seems like poor showing for the judge's big hope. She's right. That is speculation and not evidence.
Show me your truth.
Whatever. I see. Okay, I'm going to select one of these. I think that I don't have any evidence against Akiko for these things. I have evidence, well, I guess I don't. The game told me I don't have evidence against Sam or Lydia or anybody else or Witness. But I'm going to go ahead and select this just to see what happens. The bars on the Parisian Bridge were supposedly torn open by Henry with his demonic strength. Starlight analyzed the bars and found traces of thermite, not demonic residue.
Don't test me.
Thermite is a military-grade explosive that burns through pretty much everything. Akiko faked that part of his escape. Oh, that actually makes sense. That's a pretty good... Never trust computers. Her little calculator got it wrong. Henry is demonic. What does Starlight know about demons? The freak tried to analyze something that Starlight doesn't recognize, and the closest match is thermite. Residue sample, 68% thermite, 29% barium nitrate, 2% sulfur, 0.3% polybutadiene acrylonitrile. No trace of unknown chemicals found. Thermite is an anti-material weapon that burns an extremely high temperature.
Feels wrong.
Akiko used it to open the prison bars and make it look like Henry escaped.
Chito.
A good truth. Please let us sample some more. Okay,
Show me
so
your truth.
now I think my understanding is every one of these is going to be what evidence, presenting the evidence that I have against the person that I've accused, and ignoring, I guess, any other evidence, any contradictory or like complicating or ancillary evidence. So yeah, so it's just a list. Just go down the list and select everything. Which I kind of, well, I don't know. I'm torn about that. Henry was dosed up with inhibitors. How could he have escaped if he was fully sedated? Doctor, was his dosage correct?
The island is about to end.
Bark. Yes, Judge, as it has been for the last 10 years. Do you have anything to say, Grand Marshal? The demon inside him tricked us. It waited for the right moment. The inhibitors have never been right, but we didn't know.
How?
Doctor? That's quite the claim. That would mean the demon was capable of plotting and fooling us for a decade.
Hypothetically.
There's no medical evidence to suggest this
Crime
happened.
cannot hide.
Very convenient that the demon pulled the trick off right at the end of the island. Why not attack sooner? This isn't hard evidence, but I'm taking it into
Show
consideration.
me your truth.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got, Judge. You have proven that the official versions of events for Akiko and Henry's movements last night are total fantasy. Yes, I knew it. Combined with your evidence, you have created a truth that glints brilliantly in the light shown by the facts. I have considered your truth, ruminated on the implications, soaked in the facts, steeped in the leaves of veracity. Jesus, Judge. Examined the grains of legitimacy. There is no jury here. I must leave it to the impartial sword of justice within me to stab through the heart of the lies and let the blood of truth flow. ... Calculating. A truth is revealed. A truth is known. A truth proves Akiko guilty. Do you have anything to say, Grand Marshal? The harsh light of truth has shone upon your crime, and you will be sentenced to death. You were sworn to protect our beloved council. You pledged your blade for so long. You were a beacon of purity. Now you will be executed, and the marshals will lose their leader. The island sequences will never be the same again. Why did you do
want
it?
to die?
You said I wouldn't hang for this. See, this is, was it One Last Kiss, I think, told us? If we push a part of the conspiracy hard enough, then the whole conspiracy will break. They'll start turning on each other. Who, Grand Marshal? Who said that you wouldn't hang for this? Was it Carmelina? I beg your pardon. This was never part of the plan, you pompous Tarfa. Who are you
Do you
talking
want to die?
Carmelina, you said this would work. Now I have a gun to my head. If I'm going down for this, so are
The
you.
ravings of the guilty lashing out.
I have no idea what she's talking about. Tell us everything, Akiko. You have nothing left to lose. If you were set up, you can have revenge. Akiko, I'm glad that we're doing this first, because I do feel like Akiko will be motivated by revenge.
Nenorachito!
You promised to induct my soldiers into the Syndicate if I helped you. Now I'm going to be executed.
Nenorachito, you're out of your mind.
You used me, you weren't careful enough, and now I'm going to die.
Nenorachito.
I faked Henry's escape. I was supposed to deliver him to outside the council building, phone witness, and report that I had found him after the council were dead. Carmelina?
It is cowardly to insinuate, investigator.
She's lying. She's been found out in her own little scheme, and now she's trying to take innocent people down with her. I'm extremely nervous that there's no way to save. I gotta go through the trials. I don't know how long that's gonna take. We might be here for a little bit. I took Henry through the barracks to the council building. The official report is a lie. Lady Lovedies? Sounds like a conspiracy, Judge. That's my catchphrase. Sounds like a conspiracy, Judge.
Carmelina's conspiracy.
There is evidence to suggest Carmelina may have been the mastermind of a conspiracy to kill the council. Your facts have become the truth. Jesus. Okay, yes. I'm here for it. Lady Lovedies, while you're in here, you do not have access to the phones you have been using to record your progress. Here we go. Would you like me to save your progress now? Yes, save. I will save your progress before the next trial begins. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, so we probably won't get through all the trials. Alright, truth or fact, Henry's demonic possession. Decade ago, Henry became possessed by a demon, killing his mother and allowing demonic corruption to spill out into the world. The area around his apartment was sealed off and became the dead zone. During his arrest, he killed the Syndicate's exorcist, Grace Bloodlines. For the last 10 years, he has been contained and sedated in the Desolation Cell with inhibitors. I mean, games are tough. Sometimes you have to break that fourth wall to acknowledge that you have a player. There's only so much you can do. I would rather have the opportunity to save than not. And I can certainly understand here not wanting to like overwrite your save with an autosave or something. That would be potentially really, really bad. So, investigator Starlight has logged Henry's possession a decade ago as a case file related to the murder of the council. Is Starlight being overzealous, or do you believe there is something there that warrants investigation with someone else involved with Henry's possession and the demonic invasion that spelled doom for the island? Oh, man. Okay, so here are things that I need to do. Can I get my friends off? Like, Lydia and Sam are guilty of some things, but frankly, I don't know that well exactly what they did. I think that they were just involved in, like, delivering that box to the council chambers. Maybe they had nothing to do with... No, I think they did. I think I just don't have the right evidence for how they were involved in trying to frame Henry, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to accuse them if I don't have to, but I don't think I have to, because everybody's guilty of everything. And then can I make sure that everybody who deserves justice gets some justice? So for that, Akiko's taken care of. Who do we got? We got definitely Akiko and Carmelina and Witness, right? I can place all of them at different crimes. Witness... What am I accusing Witness of? The demon, right? The whole demon thing, killing the council. Carmelina... I could accuse Carmelina of this, Henry's demonic possession. No, Yuri. I can get Yuri on this because Yuri did the whole... He's the one who delivered the book. And now I've put Henry and Yuri in a room together, and I'm going to ask Henry, like, is that the guy? Is that the guy who gave you the book? And he's going to be like, oh yeah, that's totally the guy. Yes, let's do it. Yuri Knight, book supplier, library vault, the Grimoire of Majida. That's really all I've got. Yeah, I mean, Henry wasn't great, but okay. So should Henry get executed? Like, what happens if he doesn't? He's just gonna die. Oh, man. This is arguably the only thing that Henry is guilty of, is actually being possessed. I mean, he killed his mom. Okay, so what evidence do I have against other people? No evidence against Akiko. No evidence against Carmelina, apparently. I guess it doesn't matter. Well, so it's just these two. And I'm worried that this is the only thing I can get Yuri on, and I don't like Yuri. So we're going to take Yuri down. Frankly, I like Henry more than I like Yuri. I think they're both possessed. Henry just had the misfortune of getting possessed in a socially unacceptable way. Here we go.
When love dies, all that remains are the facts.
I believe Yuri pushed Henry down the path to possession.
Business is it of yours?
Yeah, shut up, dude. I thought you were supposed to be an investigation freak. You've got nothing on me.
Show me your truth.
Well, here's what I got. I got a demonic book. Inside a safe in Henry's apartment is one of the forbidden tomes of demonology from a library vault.
What?
What's that got to do with me? Which book? The Grimoire of Majida. A frightful tome. How did a citizen come to obtain one of the restricted texts?
Show me your truth.
Present your evidence, construct a truth. Henry told me a stranger supplied him with the tome that would lead to his possession. Someone took a shine to him and slipped him a restricted text.
What are you talking about?
And you think it was me? You're a joke. I had nothing to do with this.
Don't make me laugh.
I don't consort with citizens. You'll need better evidence
Show
than this.
me your truth.
The
Well,
facts and the truth are not the same.
Yuri accessed the vault that contained the books on demonology. I believe Yuri took books on demonology and gave them to Henry, preying on a vulnerable mind and pushing him towards communicating with the gods. The plan was for him to become possessed. The plan?
Pathetic.
The freak wouldn't know a plan if she saw it. She's just making up stories and you're going along with it.
Pathetic.
Exile caused her brain to rot. I don't know if I'm going to get Yuri. You're letting the freak fool you with lies, speculation, and
I
fiction.
don't like this.
The plan will become clear in later case files. There is a conspiracy at play, and I need you to trust me. Interesting. Oh, I forgot about KHX's murder. Yes, we can definitely get Yuri for that. If I get this wrong, you can reverse the conviction. I'll go back to the Idle Lands, and Yuri can walk free. That's a lot, Lady Love Dies. That's a whole lot. Someone committed the crime to end all crimes, and the path to the truth is a winding one.
This is nonsense.
We cannot go on trust. This is not justice. Do not dare to lecture me on justice. I am justice incarnate. The court trusts the investigator.
Show me your truth.
Present your evidence, construct a truth. Okay, that's all I got. I have considered your truth, ruminating on the implications soaked in the facts. Yes, yes, yes. There is no jury here. A truth is revealed, a truth is known, a truth
The court
proves.
finds Yuri guilty.
That was enough.
Insufferable.
This is unacceptable. Do you know who I am? I have been chosen. I will be on the next council. This freak has taken away my destiny. I will burn the syndicate to the ground.
How dare you?
Yuri, be quiet. No, I am the blessed servant of my goddess. I was destined for greatness. I helped you, and now I'm going to
I have
die.
achieved perfection.
These are the ravings of someone deceived by a god that's been caught
I
out.
have a bad feeling about this.
Is this true, Yuri? She promised me a seat on the new council and to retrieve enchanted blue from the real world. Ooh, that's
is
how you get
nonsense.
Yuri.
I will be on the next council.
I got Henry the books on demonology. You're still saying that? You will not be on the next council, Yuri. I got Henry the books on demonology, sent him down the dark path. The plan needed the island to end. Henry provided the answer. The truth lies within a conspiracy. It's nice that everybody confesses when we, after we convict them. Lady Love dies. While you're in here, do you yeah, all of that. Sure, let's keep saving.
Getting saved.
Truth or fact? The murder of Grace Bloodlines. Grace was our chief exorcist, and Henry was convicted of her murder, which he allegedly committed during his arrest. One Last Kiss seems to think she was set up to die. I think that too. I guess let's see what evidence I have, because I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if actually Akiko killed her or Carmelina killed her, or who actually killed her. Grace Bloodlines was murdered 10 years ago. I presided over the trial. I saw the sun's light cast the shadows from the terror and leave only truth visible. Toby points out, I'm super interested in what order we are going through these crimes in. Yeah, I don't have a solid sort of like feel for it, but clearly it's an intentional order, and I think it has to do with crimes, either crimes that build on one another, so we present evidence early on that leads to maybe these like accusations of conspiracy that then we can use as evidence later, or it has to do with leading the player to conclusions based on the evidence that sort of gets strung together in cases early on. I'm not 100% sure. It does feel intentional. It's working so far. Listen, Judge, you told me to be confident about my truth. I am here now. You didn't have me on the island 10 years ago. You probably should have. Do those terrible events from a decade ago have a link to the tragedy of last night? I investigated it at the behest of One Last Kiss. Who is One Last Kiss? The ghost of Grace Bloodlines. She's on the island. A ghost of a murder victim 10 years ago is on the island.
Paying attention, investigator?
Oh, fuck, yes. One Last Kiss. Surprise witness. Is that so hard to believe? Can you prove you are who you say you are? Of course, I mean, there's no one else could possibly say the words haunted complex, crescent drifting sand satellite. So, Gray's bloodlines, unique blood
The
code. How
investigator
is that a
is here.
blood code? What does that even mean? One Last Kiss asked me to find her resting spot. I unlocked her blood vial, and she confirmed the code independently. It's so nice to see everyone again. What do you have to do with the murder last
Do you
night?
understand, investigator?
I was murdered 10 years ago, allegedly by Henry, who everyone here would have you believe is the council
Who would
murderer.
benefit from a crime like these?
It makes you think, doesn't it? What if the two are linked? One Last Kiss asked me to investigate her murder. She believes there is more to it than the official version of events. Do you suspect her? No. What? Do I suspect her? Do I suspect One Last Kiss? No. Right? No. No, I believe she is a victim in all of this. She was murdered 10 years ago. Well done, investigator. You have seen the truth clearly. Paradise... I mean, maybe there's a conspiracy from 10 years ago that I didn't uncover where Grace Bloodlines is guilty of something. I don't... The trials continue. Lady Love dies. Drive us along the highway of truth. Grace was our chief exorcist and Henry was convicted of a murder, which he allegedly committed during his arrest. One Last Kiss seems to think she was set up to die. I do think that Akiko probably killed her. But Carmelina... One Last Kiss said that Carmelina accompanied her to Henry's exorcism. When Akiko left Grace alone with Henry, it was to speak to Carmelina. I know, but if Akiko and Carmelina were speaking outside the room, then that couldn't have been when they killed you. Do you understand that? While she was en route to Henry's exorcism, Carmelina sent a message to Akiko telling her to leave Grace unattended with Henry. She forgot to encrypt it. Leave her alone with him. Okay, but... And then it was Carmelina. It was Carmelina. Carmelina's ring. Right, it's definitely Carmelina. That photo evidence. Yes, right. Yes. Okay, and then Henry... Henry strangled his mother. Henry has no memory of killing Grace Bloodlines, but believes he did it. Henry was found guilty of killing Grace Bloodlines. Yes, all of that. No. Okay, so we're gonna go with... Akiko's already dead. I'm not so concerned with making sure that we execute Henry Division. I don't think... I mean, I think that he's a threat because he's possessed by a demon, and I think that somebody's going to have to take care of that, but he's not guilty of any of these crimes, right? Like, these other people are guilty of these crimes, so...
The facts and the truth are not the same.
I believe Carmelina was the architect of her murder. Ha ha ha. This is nonsense. You have no evidence.
Show me your truth.
Well, let's see. One Last Kiss has testimony. When Henry was arrested, Grace was meeting with Carmelina. Carmelina requested to accompany Grace on the exorcism. This is unusual, as it would place Carmelina in an unnecessary amount of danger. It may be unusual, but it doesn't prove she is a perpetrator.
Craft is its own reward.
Of course it doesn't. The investigator is trying to prove a fantasy. It may have placed me in danger, but the pursuit of knowledge sometimes requires
Show me your
risk.
truth.
While Grace and Carmelina were en route to Henry, Carmelina sent a message to Akiko. She instructed her to leave Henry and Grace alone together. This message was intercepted before it was scrubbed from the server. Carmelina forgot to use encryption. Architect?
We have achieved perfection.
I have no recollection of this. It sounds like a fabrication.
Show me your truth.
Okay. I found a photo of Grace's body that had been excluded from the report. It was hidden in the barracks server. It showed the strangle marks on Grace's neck. Doomjazz took a look at it and suggested they were done by someone who wore a wedding ring.
When love dies, all that remains are the facts.
Carmelina wore a wedding ring at the time when Grace was killed. I suspect that Carmelina killed Grace when Henry didn't step up and do it for her.
Craft is its own reward.
This is tenuous, isn't it? Anything that could cause that mark, couldn't it? Doctor?
I'm a professional.
It is my firm opinion, haha, that this was done by a ring worn on the wedding ring finger. Bruising can contain very detailed information.
I am the leader.
You are deleted. Preposterous. The doctor would say anything to a pretty
The
face.
island is about to end.
I am the leader.
We'll see about that. Why would Architect Carmelina have killed Grace? Yuri gave Henry demonology books. Henry was being set up to end the island and possibly be scapegoated for the murder of the
Got
council. A dead exorcist means the demon in Henry would still be around and useful when it came time to pin the blame on someone for last night. When Henry didn't kill Grace Bloodlines, Akiko stepped in and framed Henry, giving him a history of murder. This sounds like a conspiracy, investigator. That's the judge's trademark line. This sounds like a conspiracy, investigator.
This is nonsense.
This is a farce. Hold your tongue in the halls of
Show me your
justice.
truth.
I mean, that's all I got, dude. I have nothing to present. You have presented a veritable treasure trove of facts. A truth is
The court
revealed.
finds Carmelina guilty.
Carmelina. Grace Bloodlines was murdered by the hand of the architect. So this is the truth. Thank you for your work, investigator.
Dare you?
How dare you?
I am the leader.
This is nonsense. This trial is over.
Do your job.
Henry will be executed and the freak will be sent back to the Idle Lands. This is my courtroom. I am justice incarnate. You do not have the authority to end the trials. You have been found guilty. You will receive your punishment. The trials continue. I love it. I love it. So we've done 3 of these and we've got like 5 or 6 left. So I'm going to stop for today. And we will come back next week and we will finish these trials. And we can talk about the game after that. So again, if anybody's got questions for Q&A that you want to get in before then, ahead of time, feel free to send me a message on Twitter.
Getting saved.
But we will, I think we'll have some stuff to talk about at the end of this. I'm really curious to see how it all wraps up. I get sort of a sense of it, but there's a lot that I want to talk about in how they construct the narrative, how they construct the mystery. Some of the design choices that I think that had a negative impact on the experience, and sort of all of the really, really cool stuff that this game is doing. So, Qbert points out, I think we can accuse people more than once. I think that too. So once we accuse somebody and present enough evidence to find them guilty, they will be executed, right? And so if that is what we care about, is making sure that final punishment comes to all of the people who deserve it, then that's good enough. But I think people can be guilty of more than one crime. So Carmelina, I don't know. We're going to see. I think I'm going to have to choose between exposing Carmelina and her weird murder baby and exposing Witness and his like demon plot, But I think I can do that without roping the Daybreaks into it. Or, I take that back. I think that they will get brought up. But I think if I never choose to accuse them, then they will not be executed. So there's also sort of a matter of how much do I care about justice being served, right? The truth coming to light, and making sure that people's crimes are exposed. It's not just about sort of getting a guilty verdict for everybody that I want. It's also about sort of putting an end to all of these investigations. So I think probably we will be accusing Yuri, certainly, of KHX's murder. I think we'll accuse other people of other things, and then there are some people who will get off, like the good Dr. Doomjazz and Crimson Acid, and I think the Daybreaks. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. This was good. I'm glad that we did this and we got here, and I'm glad that we spent yesterday gathering up the evidence that we did, because it's definitely coming in handy. Have a good weekend, everyone. I will see you on Monday for Mostly Walking, and next Wednesday for wrapping this up, which I'm looking forward to. And until then, stay safe, be well. I hope that folks are able to get their vaccines, and I'll see you around. Bye.